Hey everyone! So I've been meaning to do a Pokemon vlog forever and ever and ever, and I decided I wanted to do my top 10 favorite Pokemon, and this is a hard video to make, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. I listed off my 10 favorites on a piece of paper, and even though I am satisfied with my 10 picks, I don't know if it's completely accurate or not, because there are just so many Pokemon to choose from, and I just can't. There's a lot that I didn't choose. So I'm just gonna wing it and go into my top 10. So here we go. And also, with the exception of the first two, everything is sort of not numbered at all. So there are some numbers that just are numbered. And they're just there, I guess. So, yeah. Anyway, number 10 on my list is Ampharos. Now, I didn't really play the old games too much. When I started playing Pokemon, I played, I think it was Gold or Crystal. And it wasn't mine, it was my friend's, so I never got a chance to play it. And so I only played it for a little bit. So I actually started with Heart Gold when it came to. Actually, I did buy a copy of Silver, which I actually have right over there. But I played through completely Heart Gold, and that's one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. And Ampharos was the greatest electric type I have ever played. He or she is just absolutely fantastic, so powerful. It's like a powerhouse on my team, and I absolutely love Ampharos to death. Well, one of my favorite Pokemon, for sure. It had to be on this list. It just had to. Next is another Gen 2 Pokemon, and that is Feraligatr. Feraligatr is my favorite starter of Gen 2. It actually used to be Typhlosion for the longest time, mostly because of design, because I never really played those games, but I love the design of Typhlosion. And then I restarted, I started my Silver version. It's an old, the old Silver version. And I started with Totodile because my friend started with Chikorita, and I guess I wanted to be different and choose the one that he was weaker to. I don't know why, but I love Feraligatr. It was the only, well, not the only Pokemon, but one of the few Pokemon that I trained that was absolutely fantastic. When I got to the Elite Four, it was the most powerful member of my team, for sure, and I still, to this day, have not beaten the Elite Four on Silver. I don't know why not. I have no idea why. Maybe I'm just not good at it. I don't know. I didn't train enough or something, and I just could not beat it, even though Feraligatr almost, destroyed everybody, but I think I only got to, the second one. I don't know, I just couldn't finish it. And you can see my kitty cat. She's over there, she's gonna jump on my bookshelf. And that's not gonna be good. But anyway, I love Feraligatr. Next on my list is my other favorite water type, and it's also an ice type Pokemon, and that is Walrein. My friend recommended me playing this, with this Pokemon for when we were playing Sapphiire, I believe, when it first came out. Or near around where Emerald came out, I think, actually. And as you can see, I'm a very big supporter of Alpha Sapphire. I cannot wait for that game. I'm so excited! Because if you didn't already know, Sapphire is the first Pokemon game I actually fully played through, and that was the game that got me into the whole Pokemon craze of the games, at least. I love the show, of course, but yeah, that was the first Pokemon game I played. And I'm going to talk more about that later in the video because I have more Pokemon to talk about. But Walrein is one of the most powerful Ice-type Pokemon, if not the most powerful, in my humble opinion. I love it to death. It's just such a wall, and it's so powerful. I haven't played with it in a long time though. So as soon as Alpha Sapphire comes out, I am definitely going to catch a Celio. Or Celio? It has been so long. I am so sorry. It's been a while. But I love Walrein. Okay, next is probably going to get a lot of people mad because I have a favorite Pokemon on my list that is honestly one of the most powerful Pokemon. And you would not expect it if you saw a picture of it. And that is Dedenne. This is a 6th generation Pokemon from obviously X and Y, and it is an electric hamster, and it's absolutely adorable. It's the cutest Pokemon I've ever seen in my life, or at least one of them. I have another one on my list that I'll talk about in a little bit. Oh, good, good. Now she's climbing on that bookshelf. That's wonderful. Anyway, Dedenne. So, why it's a powerhouse? Okay, when I caught it in Pokemon Y, I believe, I caught it in that, I don't remember what the route is. It's been a while since I've played it, but it's like right outside of a cave, and at that point, it was like level 29 or something-ish, and it just became my most powerful member of my team right from the get-go. Right through that one cave, it was always defeating everybody, and it just was such a powerhouse. It was so crazy because it's so adorable and tiny, but it packs such a punch, and oh my god, it's like my favorite electric type, with the exception of Ampharos, of course, but my second favorite for sure. I absolutely love Dedenne. It's adorable, it is just, it's a powerhouse, and it's like a blood deranged hamster that will destroy you and eat you alive. Pretty much. Yep. Next is another one that's extremely popular, and a lot of people think it's overrated, but I don't care. That is Lucario. When I started Pokemon Diamond, I don't think I played with Lucario. I don't know. Could you even catch him that early? I don't think you could. I think it was kind of a hard Pokemon to acquire. I think Riolu was really hard to get. Anyway, but I really love Lucario. Lucario and the Mystery of Mew is one of my favorite movies in the Pokemon movies, like Spectrum, I guess. And there aren't a lot of good Pokemon movies, but I think that's one of my favorites for sure. Anyway, Lucario is just one of the most powerful Pokemon to me, and just a lot of sentimental value because I love the Lucario and the Mystery of Mew movie. That made me love him even more. And I think that's where my love for him started, because I just saw that movie and just the way that they described his character in the movie, and it was so fantastic, and he's definitely my favorite fighting type Pokemon. Next is my favorite 6th gen Pokemon, and that is Goodra. This Pokemon can take a hit easily. Oh, it is absolutely fantastic. It's just one of those Pokemon that it can take a hit and dish it out so quickly, and honestly, it's so freaking awesome. Like, it defeated all my friends in my Wi-Fi battles, and it was amazing. I love Goodra so much. It is just such a powerhouse, and it's definitely my second favorite Dragon-type Pokemon of all time, for sure. Next is another sentimental Pokemon like Dedenne, in the same vein as Dedenne, and it's my favorite cute Pokemon of all time, and that is Skitty. Now, when I started Pokemon Sapphire a long time ago, I caught mostly normal types, surprisingly, and it was because of when you started out, that was a lot of the Pokemon that you could find were normal types, like, what's the one? Slackoth and Whismur, and Skitty was another one. And now my cat is playing with my piece of paper and grooming herself on top of it. That is wonderful. But yeah, Skitty is the cutest Pokemon of all time, and I love training her, or him, and I just see it as more of a she Pokemon just because of the design, so I'll probably call it a her. It's just the cutest Pokemon, and I still to this day love training her into a Delcatty, and it's sentimental because I nicknamed her Crystal, and Crystal was my little cat from when I was little, and actually she just died this past April or May, and I miss her to this day still. I love her, and she's one of my favorite kitties, and I just miss her so much, and every time I think of Skitty, I think of my cat Crystal, and I can't help it, because I nicknamed my Pokemon after my pets, and yeah, that's a thing. So, I love Skitty. It's so sentimental to me. I always think of my cat Crystal because of her, and I love it. Next is my favorite starter. Well, actually not my favorite starter. It's my favorite grass-type Pokemon, and that is Sceptile. Treecko was the Pokemon that I started when I first started playing Pokemon Sapphire, which was my first game, as I've described before, and I chose it for a stupid reason. I was really into the anime still, and Ash had caught a Trico in the anime, and I thought, well, I'm gonna catch one too, because I want to be like Ash. For some reason, when I was a kid, I didn't care, I didn't really think about his, you know, bad points. I just thought, oh, it's my favorite, like, nostalgic character, I'm just gonna be like Ash. I don't know why. Anyway, I quickly realized that Trico is one of my favorite my favorite Pokemon of all time. Really, really powerful, really fast grass-type Pokemon that I just really loved, and it was my best Pokemon on my team, which is surprising because I hear a lot of times that starter Pokemon usually aren't that great, but for me, they work fantastically on my team, and they're almost always my best because I guess they're your first, so they're trained more than the others, but I can't help it. I love the starter Pokemon so much, and Sceptile is definitely my second favorite starter Pokemon of all time. I love it. And number 2 on my list is one of the most powerful Pokemon I've ever trained, and hardest Pokemon I've ever trained, and that is Salamence. This is my favorite Dragon-type Pokemon, and I finally caught a Bagon in my Pokemon Emerald, I think. I don't even think I caught one in Sapphire. I think I had to wait until I got Emerald to catch one. And it took forever to train it, and especially when it became a Shelgon. When it became a Shelgon, it like lost all its speed, and it became even more difficult to train, and it just was 20 levels of just absolute pain and misery to level up to evolve him into a Salamence. But once he became a Salamence, he was just so powerful and amazingly epic. He's basically like the dragon type of Magikarp in a way, except Magikarp evolves at level 20, I believe, and so it's not as many levels. Actually, it could be. It's like 15 levels or so, and for Shelgon it's 20, so it's kind of the same vein as that, except you have to evolve him to level 50, and that's just incredibly insane. But dragon types are always the hardest ones to level up anyway, and I understand why, because they're like really powerful. And I just love Salamence. He was the first Pokemon that I leveled up to level 100, and I do not regret that in the slightest. It was so rewarding to have him be my strongest Pokemon on my Emerald version for life, and he's still to this day my favorite Dragon-type Pokemon. I love him. And then my number 1 favorite Pokemon of all time that I will always love till the day I die. It'll always be my favorite one. And it's another one that's a lot of sentimental value to me, and also a lot of nostalgia, and it's also very popular, and people say it's overrated, which I agree that it's overrated, but I don't care. I love it anyway. And that's Charizard. Now, going back to my roots as a Pokemon fan, I was mostly into the anime when I was a little kid. I was watching it on TV all the time, and I never really played the games. So, I know I never really played the games until Sapphire came out. That's when I really got into the Pokemon games. So, yeah, that's just me, my personal thing. I don't know why. My parents didn't really... I don't know. I had a Game Boy, but I didn't have the means to buy any of the games, and I don't know where I could buy them, because I lived in a small town when I was little, and this small town was a lot like Palette, I guess, and just thinking that and making that connection right now, I can't believe it. In the anime roots, the anime canon with Ash's Charmander, who was abandoned by Damien, and just that whole story arc made me cry and made me so sentimentally attached to Charmander, because, I don't know, I guess I could kind of relate to him. Sorry, I'm trying to play with my cat now. I can relate to him in a way now. I'm actually making this connection right now because I'm adopted, so in a way, I was sort of abandoned by my mother, but not in the sense of, you know, just she didn't want me, she couldn't take care of me, that sort of thing. But I still kind of relate to Charmander in a way, and that whole thing just made me so sentimental towards Charmander, and when it finally evolved into Charizard, it was like, it was a dragon to me, and it was the most amazing Pokemon I've ever seen in my entire life, and just Ash's struggle to make Charizard obey him and like him was such a fun journey to watch, and I just love Charizard. And then I finally played with a Charizard on my team when I finally got Leaf Green and Fire Red. And of course I chose Fire Red because I was a Charizard fanboy. I loved playing with Charizard. He was such an amazing Pokemon. I don't care if he's overrated. I have a lot of sentimental nostalgia for him. He was my first favorite Pokemon ever. Charmander at least. And I just loved it. So yeah, Charizard is fantastically epic. So anyway guys, that is my top 10 list of favorite Pokemon. There are so many Pokemon out there. There's like, what, over 650 now? I don't remember what the number is. I don't remember. But holy crap. So there's a lot to consider in this video. But I think I might do some like top 10 type Pokemon videos maybe, or generation Pokemon videos maybe. I don't know, because I like how Nappy did it, where he did all the types. I might do that, but this is just my general favorites, and there are so many other favorites that I love that I want to talk about, but I just can't in this video. So anyway guys, I hope you all enjoyed this. What are your favorite types of Pokemon, and favorite Pokemon in general? I'd love to know in the comments below. Tell me, it would be cool to talk about Pokemon. And I just love to discuss it with you. So yeah, have a great day guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!